Let's play a game. If you've ever got your eyes checked, it should be fairly easy. 3 rounds, 2 options. Who'd you let in? Well, newsflash, buddy. If you picked any A's, then you're dead. You fucked it. And it might be time to go get your eyes checked again, you dead shit. In the last Psyk review, we happened to lose the sun. But in this one, the sun's so bright you can't go outside anymore. Not that half of you do that anyway. It's a brand new day. The world's verifiably ending, but I'm fortunate enough to have a roof over my head. I've got piss, kombucha, and a picture of Marilyn Monroe for some reason. I better bunker up, keep to myself in this perilous time, and plan ahead. See, you def's gotta let people in, actually. Old mate said so, and maybe I'm just a good judge of character. But I fucking trust him. Anyway, he buggers off, leaves you a slab of carton fucking draft, the wanker, and as night falls, he's gone. And you're on your own. Ideally, not for long. Each stranger looks weirder than the last. Each has a different story, but each is after the same thing. A roof to sleep under. Refuge from the burning sun of the day and the visitors of the night. You might consider yourself a fairly trusting person, but when there's murderous monsters roaming about, perhaps that changes the rules. Who gets to stay? And who gets turned away? Wait. Burning hot sun, wankers with carton draft, and swiping left or right on an extensive collection of freakish mutants? This game is just Tinder and Tamworth. Thankfully, your main pastime at this stage is demanding people expose themselves to you for, testing purposes. It is now you that is doing the eye checking now. And I discovered this life hack when playing, where during the run, if any of the guests refuse to show you their armpit, you pull out a gun and just fucking kill them. On the news every morning, you're told the latest signs to look out for, like perfect teeth, dirty fingernails, bloodshot eyes. But are these guys actual accredited scientists in the field? Or just Joe Rogan calling the visitors autistic? This game instills doubt every step of the way, where you never really know who or what to trust. Are dirty cuticles a false positive talking to a gravedigger? Are a doctor's pearly whites just great dental hygiene? Are the stoner's red eyes that of a monster? Or did he just chuff a fatty cron chief keef dink doink roach before he rocked up? What about you? If you're not careful, you might give off the wrong impression yourself, mate. Beyond using all your limited energy points to choose the armpit option every single time, much can be learned about the different guests in their dialogue. Perhaps their story doesn't quite add up. They dance around certain topics, or for whatever reason seem apprehensive about showing you their armpits again for the 13th consecutive day in a row. Armpits are real telling. What next, mate? Licking the visitors' ball sacks in search of new signs? They're more than fucking welcome to give mine a taste, cunt. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Perhaps you're just deadass not vibing with them, mate. Like, why is my man stood like that? Please tell me why my man stood like that. Perhaps they're one of the few decent, cool-headed souls left in a world burnt to a crisp. With each passing conversation, you learn more of the context behind the person whose life rests entirely on you and the buttons you choose to click. And based on how well you choose, eventually you end up at one of the 11 different endings. No, I'm Not a Human is a spooky game about fear, but also about morality and judgment. It holds a mirror up to you and it says, the world's fucked. You choose who lives and who dies. How do you decide? No shot you can actually pick up the cat. It's easy to get lost in the premise alone, trying to survive, trying to win and see how it all ends. But what really elevates this fucked up merry-go-round of trolley problems is its presentation. I call this my premise presentation theory, or PP theory for short. Corridor in 3D space helps convey the scale and insignificance to your small home, but the heavy lifting is done by the 2D artwork that's lent more into. The distinct photoreal character art is full of features that are exaggerated, distorted and deformed in uniquely unsettling ways. Like you woke up in one of Junji Ito's fucked up hellscapes and all you had with you was a dodgy DSi camera. No one's actually ever named, but you've got everyone's favorites. Bandana guy, homeless guy, cat lady, Among Us guy, Sergeant Cockhead, the list goes on. And funny thing is, when I checked the wiki, they'd actually given the exact same names to all but one of them, but you wouldn't be able to guess which. And this one I called Greg, just because he kind of looks normal, doesn't he? But the artwork is gritty, digital, and the hybrid 2D approach sort of weaponizes framing by locking you into these two-dimensional views, where you only ever really see people from one angle, never cleanly, but through a peephole, a window, or from the hallway. Amongst the endless chatter, news reports, and testing results, you're never really given concrete answers from either of the Ps. On the sound front, things are kept minimal but effective. Each guest has a unique noise they make from the room they're snoozing in at night. But most of the ear time is reserved for the music. The standout for me was Day One, which unsurprisingly plays for most of the game, but it really nails the tone so well. It sounds sad, detached, but also kind of cozy. I don't know what this means really, but it sounds nostalgic, like it came from another time. Hopeless, yet kind of comforting, as if you've stopped caring altogether. And if you need a good background track for your Testosterone conspiracy podcast, then I've heard it's pretty good for that too.
The elites were purposely trying to lower testosterone in men so that men can't fight back.
Just be careful of the elites, yeah? The art direction just worked for me, honestly. This game has such a charmingly bleak atmosphere that really immerses you. No, I'm Not a Human is at its best the moment you start it up for the first time. The less you know, the better. So if you think it sounds like your cup of tea, spoilers ahead. There's a fair few possible endings here, but repeated playthroughs are where I think this game loses a bit of steam. The guests you get are mostly randomized, so there's no guarantee you'll get fresh new ones each playthrough. You're likely to be skipping past dialogue you've already read, or discovering that the same guy who was human last run is a visitor on this one? Looking at the wiki and illuminating the actual mechanics behind visitors reveals a certain boldness to the choices the devs went with. Of all possible guests, a handful are always human and a handful are always visitors, but the majority are randomized, so they could be either based on the run. The kicker though is that not all instances of visitor-like symptoms are conclusive. There are plenty of false positives. Take these two guys for example. This wannabe Joker with his mouth wide shut looks like he hasn't slept in his life, and a parasitic spider spawn is digging itself out of his forehead 2 legs at a time. This is Greg. Now guess which one is human and which one's a visitor? You judgmental wank stain. Greg's the fucking monster. You never should have trusted him. Meanwhile, Wiry here is actually just a hella chill gay guy from Georgia. So you're a fucking bigot now too. Mr. Rogan says taking a person's photo is a good test, where dark colors or patches can point to them being a visitor. So tell me why this man's photo changes from this as a human to this as a visitor. Is that why you're so goddamn happy? Are the visitors the monsters or us? Whoa, dude. Are the visitors monsters or us, bro? It doesn't take long to catch on to the fact that your best hope at surviving without simply cheating the system is a series of fortunate, educated guesses that often aren't particularly educated. In practice, killing someone becomes a vibe check with extra steps, but I reckon this was likely the intent. It makes sense to me as a statement to make killing, the core mechanic of the game, feel arbitrary and trivialized. When playing, we rationalize that one person ought more to die than another, and conjure up some reasoning to convince ourselves that we're making the right choice. But in the end, no amount of calculated rationale can guarantee your survival. I suppose just like the real world, things just blatantly don't add up sometimes. The game refuses to elaborate and is unapologetic about it. But these moments of inconsistency stand to heighten the paranoia and mystery around visitors in those first few playthroughs. You're not supposed to be able to game the system. It hurts the payoff on subsequent playthroughs, but I reckon they picked this as their hill to die on, and I get it. No, I'm Not a Human is anxious, ambiguous, and apocalyptic, and it's not even a AAA title. There's a nutsack option? Well, that wasn't one of the reported signs, Greg. Bottom line is, lads, if you're actually watching this right now, this game was good enough to get me out of retirement, so that's saying something. If you're after something short and sweet that you can make a night out of with your mates, with plenty of armpit,